So, yeah, those were rather exciting games yesterday. I I have to say, you know, everyone was saying, "Oh, the Chargers are going to beat the Patriots. The Chargers are going to beat the Patriots." No, no, that didn't happen. It's actually kind of funny because everyone was saying that this is easily the worst defense that Tom Brady has to overcome. The Patriots defense, I mean, and that defense stepped up big time. Like, really big time. So, yeah. Congratulations, Tom Brady and the Patriots. And then you have the NFC game. Now, it's actually kind of conflicting for me. It was conflicting because you guys know I hate the Eagles, but for the most part, I only rooted for the Eagles on the off chance Dallas actually won, which they didn't. But I'll get into how I ultimately feel about that in a minute or so. So, yeah. Congratulations, Drew Brees and the Saints. Now, I know that today is Monday, and I've said this numerous times in the past, that Mondays can be a real drag. Especially after a weekend like this one where your NFL team season is over. And, yeah, I am still a little sad, but I don't think I'd be as sad as I would be if we had lost on Sunday instead of Saturday. See, since Dallas lost on Saturday night, I was able to get, some sleep, some sleep over it, have 24 plus hours to overall feel better about what happened. I mean, again, I'm still sad, and I don't really know what the future holds for Dallas. All I know is that, Dallas, we had a good run. We did. No, we couldn't quite finish the fight, but we most definitely fought to the bitter end. And no one is ever going to shame you for that. Unless, of course, you're a hater, in which case you can ignore them because they are haters and they do not deserve your time. So, if your team is officially out of the playoffs and therefore not playing anymore, and considering the fact it's Monday and therefore it would make you feel even worse, I get it. Trust me, I do. I guess just for me, again, I had all of Sunday to, sort of relax. So, I'm taking the pain one day at a time. That's pretty much what I'm doing today. But yeah, the Dallas season's over. The Chargers season is over. The Eagles season is over. That one actually I'm not very sad about. And the Colts season is over. And now this is the very first time in NFL history that all four of the best offenses in the NFL are in their respective championships, which, that's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to be getting into more on this as we get closer to the weekend, but for now, I'll say this. In terms of who I want to see in the Super Bowl, that is. I don't want to see one particular team in, without seeing a certain other one in there, if that makes sense. So, yeah. A bittersweet weekend for me. I mean, again, my Cowboys lost, but overall, I had fun. And in the end, that really is what it's all about. But the pain is still there. Oh, boy. Well, for better or for worse, and wow, I can't believe, I think this may very well be the longest time I ever went without saying this. Happy Monday, everybody. Well, yep, beginning of the week. It's over. Although, even if your team is out of the playoffs for football, there's still plenty of other things to look forward to. Because definitely this week, no kidding, Regal Cinemas at the Arnhem Mall is showing Dragon Ball Super Broly. I am so going to try and go. I am Like, I will go with bells on my toes. I am so excited. Really, the only question is, you know, what day of the week I'm going. Yeah, unfortunately, midweek releases are a bit of a hassle for most people, including myself. Just because, we have stuff to do the next day. Maybe you have to go to work, or maybe you have some sort of important appointment you have to be at, or whatever. The point is, I definitely want to see this movie. I've never seen an anime-related movie on the big screen, and I definitely want to see this movie. I mean, actually, from what I've seen, there's actually a lot of Dragon Ball Z fans out there. Well, actually, this is Dragon Ball Super now, but you get the idea. I'm curious to see who will be at the theater on whatever day I go. I'm also rather conflicted as to when I'm going to go to. Because, on the one hand, because I looked up all the showings throughout the week, and each showing is going to be at, I have an itch in my forehead, sorry. Each showing is going to be at, 7:30 at night. And the movie is just shy of an hour and 45 minutes. So, it's going to be a relatively late night for me. I mean, to put things into perspective, I went to bed a little bit before 9, and I actually still struggled to get out of bed this morning and go for my run. Of course, to be fair, when it's 11 degrees outside, yeah, it's that cold now. Funny, it only took about almost halfway through January for it to get like this. Which I guess is a lot later than it was a year ago. Seriously, I think it was 0 degrees on New Year's Eve last... As 2017 was going into 2018. Seriously, I think I remember leaving a bottle of water in my car accidentally, and it froze. And keep in mind, and this wasn't all night. This was I actually went to go see my brother and his wife on New Year's Eve that year, and this water was completely, it was out of my refrigerator, so it was technically cold, but not frozen. I was at my brother's place until a little bit after 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was frozen. Well, not completely frozen. It was more like a slushy. Which, slushies are awesome. But not in bottled water form. Yeah, it's like that one episode from The Simpsons, a popsicle, my favorite flavor, plain. Yeah, that was weird. After the Eagles Saints game, I actually watched the newest episode of The Simpsons, and I gotta say, it actually wasn't that bad. I mean, yes, I've said this before, and a lot of people on the internet have said this at some point, but The Simpsons is referred to as living death. That show should have ended at least 15 years ago, yet it's still going. So, I think one of the reasons why The Simpsons has lasted so long is because, why is that? Well, I gotta go with what the Nostalgia Critic once said, because it's very obvious The Simpsons are now using sort of modern day, relatively topical references. I mean, I say relatively because maybe it's about to happen, or maybe it already has happened. I don't know. But one thing The Simpsons has been consistently doing, and this is actually something that Neil deGrasse Tyson himself pointed out, it's that there's actually a lot of math on The Simpsons, and they don't talk about it much, use that very specific math much. But when they do, they get it right. And in doing so, they actually tell a richer story. See, I have kind of always wanted to be a writer and sort of write a book. And that's actually one lesson I would follow if I did. Which is, again, something that Neil deGrasse Tyson mentioned, which is actually a Mark Twain saying. And that is, get your facts right first, then distort them at your leisure. So, yeah, that's definitely what I would do. And I mean, the episode I saw last night constituted like no math at all in this particular episode, but I actually had a really good time watching it. It was actually made me laugh a little bit. I'm not going to spoil much. I will say that you get to see Ned Flanders imitate Homer for once. That was actually kind of funny. And they do this, and it was actually really funny because well, as we all know, Homer Simpson says "don't" a lot, right? Well, if you ever read like a script from The Simpsons, it's read as annoyed grunt. See, that's what "dough" is. That's annoyed grunt. And so, as Flanders was imitating Homer, he kept saying "annoyed grunt, annoyed grunt." That was actually kind of clever. I was not expecting that at all. See, I have no problem with The Simpsons still being around as long as like stuff like that is at least there somewhere. Whether they get their facts right and therefore possibly distorting them at their leisure, or perhaps, they sort of, take you directions in terms of both humor or storytelling that, you wouldn't necessarily go to or think about. But yeah, overall, that was actually a pretty fun way to end the weekend. And then I went to bed, and then I got up, and then I worked out, and now I'm here. It all comes full circle. I actually would be worried about how long this week is going to be if I wasn't so annoyed by how cold it was already. I mean, over the next several weeks, it's actually supposed to be, like, up and down a lot. Like, if any of you guys have a smartphone, which I'm sure most of you probably do, and you check out your weather app, like, it'll probably be a bad day if you look at, like, the low of that particular day, and it's in, like, the single digits, which that is actually going to be happening soon. I believe a week from now, in fact, we're supposed to be getting, like, lows in, like, the 5s and the 4s. Yeah, it's going to be that cold. And snowing. We're actually supposed to get snow next week, which, at this time of year, it's actually a 4-letter word that begins with the letter S that nobody wants to hear again at this time of year. And I did not mean to make that rhyme. It just sort of happened. But, yay, rhyming. Yeah. I don't really have much else to say. I mean, I'm still kind of bummed about, the Cowboys being out, and yeah, I kind of wish we weren't all, but, if there's one thing I've said several times in the past, in fact, I said this yesterday, if I recall, when something bad happens, something good is inevitably going to happen. Just take what I told you guys yesterday. I mean, the Cowboys lost on Saturday night, and I was about and as I was about to go running on Sunday morning, I literally looked up in the sky and I saw a shooting star. Which, I mean, it's a shooting star. Do I even need to tell you how awesome that is? Especially since, like, it's something you hardly ever see. It's like, seriously, shooting stars are like the 4-leaf clovers of the sky. Holy cow, I think I figured out why shooting stars are in Lucky Charms now. Oh well. I guess I should probably get going before I start procrastinating. So, like, favorite, share, and hit that subscribe button. I could really use support on YouTube. Follow me on the social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As always, I am very humbled I made this video for all of you guys to watch and enjoy for today. I'm hopeful that we all have a wonderful Monday, which kicks off a wonderful week. And remember, if any of you guys ever want to talk or chat, I'm always going to be here to lend an ear, and I will always have your back. Take care, and have a wonderful day.